How's it going? Brian Ewald here at the NAMM 2017 PRS booth with AMS, and we're having the very first look at the brand new Sonzera. This is the 20 watt and the 50 watt combo. 50 watt is also available as a head. The Sonzera is a brand new platform from PRS. It was designed from the ground up. I've actually been able to road test these off and on for the past year. Very excited that they're finally coming out. 2-channel amps. I'll talk about the similarities and then differences between the two outside of just the power section. The 20 watt is, you have a global reverb and a global presence, and the clean channel has a bass, treble, and input volume. There's a fixed mid-range, and the bright switch is fixed on. On the lead channel, you have bass, middle, and a high-end treble. You have an output level and a drive control and a bright switch. You can switch channels via this little mini toggle in the front. Obviously, it's foot switchable, 2-channel or 2-function foot switch, so you can switch channels or reverb. The 50 watt version, because it's in a slightly larger cabinet, you actually have a reverb knob for each channel, which is super cool. Instead of having it all or nothing on both, you can crank the reverb up on your clean channel, dial it back on your lead to taste. There's also an independent bright switch on each channel. There's more room in the chassis to fit those controls on there. Otherwise, the preamp sections are the same. The 50 watt is EL34 based. The 20 watt is a short bottle 6L6. I'll go through and play a little bit on the 20 watt. I'm using the McCarty 594 single cut here on the neck pickup as a humbucker. The clean channel on the 20 watt, you've got plenty of headroom. I'm barely turned on here, but it will break up as you crank it in the way that you would expect from a lot of the great clean amps of the 60s, the single channel amps of the 60s. It has plenty of clean headroom, and it'll work well as a pedal platform for rehearsals and lower stage volume. But if you want a clean channel that breaks up a little bit when you push it, this does it really well. I don't want to blast anybody out here with a clean side. On the lead channel, it's a very different voice from any of the other PRS offerings. This is not just a revision of the Archon or the 2-channel custom. It's really its own voice, and it has a very, to me, it's a very like vintage woody kind of lead channel. But there's a really cool kind of grind on the top end that's great for classic rock and blues. But it's, like I said, it's really got its own voice. I've been using the 50 watt live. I've been using it half the time with the lead channel. It's an incredible pedal platform amp. There is a effects loop in both, so if you want to run time-based effects or anything through the back, you can. There's ports on the back for rebiasing the amp, so it's very easy to swap tubes and rebias if you want. And most importantly, I think it's a fantastic price point. Definitely the least expensive amp in the PRS lineup. They sound like $1 million. Let me also show you the reverb on this. I'll crank it all the way up. It never really gets in the way of the notes. Even with it cranked up, there's a really nice warm decay to it, but while you're playing, it's not overbearing. It's not, something that steps on. So if you really want to dial it up wet, you can. You can bring it in nice and subtle, and it just adds a real nice depth in there. Great sounding reverb, as is on the 2-channel custom too, which I've been playing for a couple years. Fantastic, a couple new amps depending on the size and the level you want. Definitely check out a Sonzera when you get a chance.